T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
I guess Nikki is having some technical difficulties because she was here. But what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Impact After Show with your hosts, the Salt Shakers. Nikki's going to be back. Like I said, she's having some technical difficulties, but we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Like, it's late at night, I know, but we're definitely going to make it work. And Nikki has finally returned after a long hiatus of technical
the internet
difficulties.
went out as soon as it said boom. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
It's the point of having live. Point of having a live show.
Oh my goodness. I just love it. Honestly. Who would have thought? Honestly, I really hope you guys who are tuning in, I really hope you guys enjoyed the episode of Impact Wrestling as much as I did. I'm very excited. I know Santana got a very nice surprise at the end, which we'll get into later. But let's get into, let's kick things off with 2 matches that I felt like were definitely the matches of the night. Okay. Mm-hmm. Rocky Romero versus Jonathan Gresham. Honestly, I mean,
should have been main event.
Talk about wrestling. Pure wrestling.
Yeah. It was a really good match. It was a really, 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 really good match. Jonathan Gresham is extremely talented. The more that I've started to watch him, he doesn't let his size kind of dictate the type of wrestler that he wrestles. Like he's a bigger man, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. And it's just like you got someone like Rocky Romero of New Japan. We already know, if you watch New Japan, you know this. I kind of been starting to get into New Japan, so I feel like I'm about to be a New Japan expert.
Somebody ring the alarm. Please. We're gonna have a New Japan. Honestly though, seriously, we can do the New Japan recap. They show episodes on it's called New Japan on Access Television. You watch.
They actually do. I totally forgot that I even didn't even change the channel because New Japan was on my TV screen, but I switched it over to GCW. But what I will say is that this, like I said, this match should have been in the main event.
100%.
It was like really, 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 really good. Seeing these two match up, and so on and so forth. I mean, this could have been on a match card for a pay-per-view or something, because they was really out there. It was very lengthy too, though. Like they was going crazy.
And I mean, we do have Rebellion just a week from Saturday, so let's be honest. I mean, we could see this match. Yeah, anything is definitely possible. Another good match that I really enjoyed, and someone who I really enjoyed watching, Steve Maclin versus Alex Shelley. Man, like just another stellar performance. I mean, dominant, like it's always like that's what I love about Impact, because it's like it's always
well, chat, sometimes me and Nikki like to take a trip to the UK a little bit. And we kind of been doing this a little bit longer before Queen Zelina decided that she wanted to come over and start ripping off of us. Don't get me wrong, I am a fan of the young lady because she is into anime, but please, we actually do it a little bit better than she does. Although I can't make myself sound like her when she do her British accent, I will say.
You know what? She's really good though, and the way you said her name was really good too.
A little practicing over here, you know.
A little practice. But yeah, I watched Steve Maclin at Hard to Kill, and I really just was like, I mean, of course he was facing Trey Miguel, who
he beat that man.
No, he didn't.
Stop playing, Nikki. He was giving that man that work.
I mean, Trey was giving him that work too, though. And speaking of, we didn't get to see Trey tonight, sadly. But yeah, Steve Maclin is a talent, and of course, Alex is I mean, a legend in his own right. And overall, yeah, this was also,
that was a good match. Steve Maclin, like, I mean, him and Alex in this match, and knowing that eventually it's going to be him and Chris Sabin going to meet in the ring with Jay White. I mean, they were really pulling out some stunts in this match. And Alex is really talented, honestly. He doesn't really get talked about that much, honestly. He really doesn't. Not as much as Icy, but he's really, really good. And Steve Maclin, despite all of the negative issues with the whole ROH thing, and Honor No More, we will, ignore that. But it was a good match. It really was. They really be putting out a stop. So y'all need to stop sleeping on Impact.
Really. And honestly, with that being said, I wouldn't mind him going after the ROH championship, but we saw someone else who was very particular in watching Jonathan Gresham and Rocky Romero, their match, and that was Eddie Edwards. So when all guns are blazing, we could get another triple threat between the three, and that's what I want. I think Steve Maclin has really made a name for himself. He's impressed the crowd. He's very dominant. I mean, I say this all the time: two things: dominance, presence. Doesn't matter if you're the champion all the time. You have to build. And
even the champion doesn't have presence or dominant. Sometimes they just hold the title, just to hold the title. Because without it, they're
Who am I? Who are we? Moving right along, though, I will say this: Santana will tell you. I said this the whole night. Jonah and PCO are gonna be the main event.
Why? I don't really know. I'm tired of seeing y'all beat up my granddaddy. Okay. This man. First of all, this man was wrapping tape around his head. Like, what is it? Please, can somebody please tell me?
I'm almost certain he's done it like for years, but that was
honestly, at this point, this man.
You want to talk about impressive? That's what it means to be sports entertained, even though this is professional wrestling.
It was. It really was. And I mean, before the match even took place, I mean, of course, we we did have Anna No More in the ring, you know, Eddie Edwards and Maria and all. Well, what some people like to call them the ghetto people and Kenny King in the ring. And I mean, wow. That that was very interesting with them. And I mean,
to be honest, I have no words for that interaction. I think that there's obviously gonna be a feud that is bigger than anyone in that ring. That what they did tonight was just crazy. I mean, even PCL jumped from the top rope, and I mean,
like, what are you doing?
Hell,
It was pretty wild, honestly.
It was.
I was like, who told that man to get up there? Really, to get down. You know your knees are bad. You don't need no new hip eventually.
Well, from my understanding, and you brought this to me, I think this is the match for next week.
Yeah, so we got the Bullet Club versus Honor No More. Due to the fact of their big brawl that took place on tonight's episode. And I mean, of course, I got to see my two faves in the front, Jay White and Chris Bennett. So of course I was pretty happy about that. Thank you very much. I was pretty happy about that. I think they need a woman in Bullet Club, to be honest.
Get out of my head. I was just I was gonna ask you, and I was gonna ask the people in the comments, do you think we need a knockout? The first ever woman.
We need a woman in Bullet Club.
In Bullet Club. I don't think there's ever been a woman.
No, it's only been like men only, you know what I'm saying, from all over. And I mean, it would be nice to have a woman in Bullet Club, at least one.
From all over is wild. I just want to say that for those that are watching on Twitch, I hope you guys enjoy this. And for those who are watching YouTube, I hope you guys enjoy this. And Facebook, I hope you guys enjoy this.
Very much so.
We could have the first ever woman in Bullet Club. I mean, because honestly, like Maria's in, Honor No More, and so this could be a vital, I would like, honestly, it would have to be the right person. And to be honest, I want to be honest. If I could say,
you might be on something.
Oh wow!
Because Alicia and Eddie really haven't been seeing eye to eye since this whole Honor No More thing took place.
If she does that, Alicia, you cool and everything, but girl, you'll lose all my respect because I never do that to my man.
But you want Chelsea Green to turn on Matt Cardona.
You said what?
But you want Chelsea Green to turn on Matt Cardona. So what are you talking about? No, you can't go. You can't do that.
Different. That's different because she's using other people. What Chelsea would be doing would be going directly to him, and you know what? To be honest, Matt Cardona might lay there and just let his wife pin him 1, 2, 3, and your new Impact Digital Media Champion.
I don't think he'll do that.
Who knows?
Matt Cardona's an asshole. He's not gonna do that. Chelsea is one too, but he's so sassy. He's very sassy, and guess what? She is not.
Well,
let her get the man.
I don't know,
but I would like to see a woman in Bullet Club.
No, I would. And my pick, the newest. I mean, technically the newest sign to Impact Wrestling. If they put Savannah Evans in the Bullet Club, that would change the game.
It really would, because she could kill her. She would, honestly. Yeah. I mean, her statue, someone who can actually wrestle. I don't know how well she is on the microphone. I don't really think I really heard her speak before.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really interesting to see if Savannah Evans would be someone suggested to be a part of the Bullet Club.
I mean, you look at someone like Chris Bay, and even sometimes, I mean, Carl is definitely the better talker for me in the Good Brothers. But I I mean, even if Tasha Steeles was to join too,
Yeah.
Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans could be the first women, put
Hmm.
two in there, speed up the
Yeah.
process, you know? I don't know. I think Lady Frost would be a nice element too, to be honest. I would love to see her heal for some reason.
Yeah.
Just
But she
be
could be
like
like ice
super
cold.
heel.
She be like ice cold, ice queen.
Ice cold and the
I don't know. I mean, I'd be cool with it. I like to see what they come up with. If they choose to ever bring a woman into Bullet Club, I would be very ecstatic to see exactly who would it be. You know.
Well, we do know for sure this is gonna happen next week.
Hmm.
Any thoughts on who you think is gonna win?
Bullet Club. Those are my thoughts. Um, I would want Bullet Club to win, to be honest, and I believe they are going to win. But I feel like Maria, she's going to be out there. Of course,
Mm.
there's no shame for her getting involved in men's matches or business. And maybe that could be the week where you know somebody else could invade themselves into the Honor No More business and beat the living hell out of Maria. It's possible. It's very possible for real. Like I would like not mind seeing that happen, but I would be very very excited if that happens for her.
Well, I'm laughing because if it happens, she gonna get her ass beat
For real. They don't
for
dog.
real. And Alicia need to wake up and realize something that she needs to stand by her
Cause
man.
why is she not in there though? That's the thing. Like girl, she wanna be a goody two shoes so bad.
It's played out.
Very much.
It's played out. She.
All right,
Hey,
Jalen.
Jalen.
All right.
Hello, Jalen.
Hello,
Um,
Jalen. Welcome to Impact Wrestling, the post show.
we are. Well, the last thing we have for the men is. Let me just say that I almost honestly teared up during this Josh Alexander
It was
package.
everything.
Shout out to the team out there at Impact, whoever put this package together, because honestly, beautiful. It was worth
Mhm.
every. It felt like just like it wasn't gonna stop. Um,
No.
I didn't think it was gonna be that long,
Mhm.
but we watched it and it just. I mean, I really hope that Josh Alexander gets. Here at Women's Wrestling Talk, specifically the Salt Shakers, we are sending our graces to Josh Alexander.
We
And
really are.
we
I'm
really are. And do you know how hard it is to get Santana to do that? Like we are honestly sending our condolences.
No, I want Josh
We,
Alexander to win.
we
I
really
feel like
do.
he was robbed. I felt like he really
We
deserved
really
to
do.
hold this title, and for him to come back
Yeah.
unexpectedly after we knew he had his visa issue going on, and for him
Oh,
to come back unexpectedly to go straight out the moose, it's perfect storytelling.
yeah.
It's the fact of like he won that title that night. You decided you want to cash in your moment and you took it away from him in front of his wife and kids. You embarrassed that man. And then the
Mhm.
man was not even wasn't even there no more. Didn't even know if he was really gonna be able to come back and get revenge or anything like that. He comes back. This is his time to get revenge and it's time to take that title off Moose.
It is.
It's
And
like
and
it's
you
time to
know
wrap it
what?
up.
I don't honestly think that Moose has been a terrible champion. I
No.
actually have enjoyed the run. I think it's been great. I think he's done wonderful with being a look
Mm-hmm.
of, Impact Wrestling, even though he's
Yeah.
made some comments about, being in Impact Wrestling and when the whole, Honor No More thing had happened. But I think he's been
Mm-hmm.
a diligent champion. And to be
He
honest,
has. He's definitely played
I
into
think
his role of like
his
going into
time's
that
up
man house, in front of his kid and his wife. Like you deserve to get your ass whooped for real. You really do.
because I
And
mean,
yeah.
besides the Undead Realm,
Hmm.
there's not that many stories that we get. Sometimes, especially if you go to the show,
Yeah.
um, sometimes you're getting strictly wrestling. I love a good story, but I'm also like,
Mhm.
I love a good match. I always
Yeah.
say this: start off with a good lockup, we're gonna have a good time. But with this, This is
gonna be a brawl. I don't even think it's gonna even be a lockup.
No,
they're throwing hands. No, Josh is throwing hands for real. He's gonna beat that man ass.
He really is.
It's gonna be a lot of ass getting beat at Rebellion. I tell you that.
Yeah. If you guys, we'll get into that later. But listen, Rebellion will be a week from Saturday. The Impact World Champion Moose will be defending his championship against none other than Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship Saturday, April 23rd. I mean, y'all, like, Josh has to win.
It's a must.
It's a must.
If he don't win, I don't know what to say. Put me in the ring with Moose. I get your title for you, Josh. I get your title for you.
I mean, listen. I would just hope that booking is just on, there would be no reason for Moose to retain.
No reason. Because who would his next opponent be, though?
Josh Alexander.
Again. What's the next one they got?
Under Siege or Under Surge, I think.
Well, he can go Under Surge.
I will be there in attendance. I will also be there for Mayday during Backlash.
During Backlash. Good God. It's a lot happening that week.
It's a lot happening that week. And that is really all for the men. Again, we send everything to Josh Alexander. But moving right along. Sabotage. So we saw a very interesting side of Chelsea tonight. We saw her twice, which is always good. That's always a good sign, I feel like, especially with the women. The way that Chelsea Green is exposed in other promotions, with other factions, with Matt Cardona, but also standing tall. This woman is really a force to be reckoned with.
Cheers.
Big shout out to Mickie James for, is it a 24 that they're doing for her on WWE?
So I think it's the part where she was mentioned in the Royal Rumble, basically. I don't know if they're actually doing a 24 on her, but I know that they're doing something in regards to her coming back to the Royal Rumble, because there was a moment that she had with Sasha backstage and they hugged and everything. I think this was before. I think it was before or after the match that was going on. It was a bonus that didn't make the 24 for Rumble. So basically, is it going to be her own thing, Joseph? I think it might be her own 24.
Well, I saw her share, and I saw a couple of the other people at Impact share too. I think it's beautiful, to be honest. The video package that I saw, I'm really excited to see it. But I think what Chelsea and Mickie did tonight was it was good, honestly. Yeah, I saw it on social media too. But I mean, the way that this is unfolding into a really big feud between Mickie James and Chelsea Green, there has been no word yet if they're going to face each other at Rebellion, especially now that Matt Cardona has involved himself. What were your thoughts when you saw Matt Cardona pop up? Were you surprised?
What can I really say? I mean, Matt Cardona is definitely going to ride for Chelsea Green in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? To see him evolve but not be able to have Nick there to kind of, back up your wife. Your wife is out here. Where is Nick?
Nicholas, where are you?
Nicholas, where are you? We are looking for Nicholas. Mickie
James. Matt Cardona has no problem. And we talked about this. And Chelsea has no problem too. She goes at Moose. He goes at Mickey James.
Whoever.
He's winning Jordan Gray. I mean Jordan Grace. Oh, I said Jordan Green, Chelsea Green, and
Very
Jordan
names
Green.
together.
But yeah, he's winning Jordan Grace. He goes at anybody, and he doesn't
He
care.
does.
And to be honest, that is the most spectacular thing about Mr. Cardona because of the way he is with his wife, and I want what they have. I posted goals on my Instagram, and Chelsea, my dear lovely, she reshared it because she knows I talked to her about this. I love it. I love the way that she embodies him, and really, she's no valet to that man. She's no valet to that man. She's not just a wife. When she stands next to Matt Cardona, she is the Chelsea Green. And I don't know. The way she's doing this, I love how the knockouts don't need a title.
No. The knockouts, like, they know how to make their women wrestlers over there still remain relevant in certain storylines without putting a title on them. That's interesting. I feel like I don't know if they'll put something like that on BTI or something like that, because you know they weird to put like little matches like that on BTI instead of
Jordan Grace and Havoc had a match on BTI, and to be honest, we were there, and
it should have been on the show. But I was saying, like, sometimes they'll put like really good matches or like really good matchups on BTI instead of like putting it on its own show. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever seen Masha Slamovich face anybody that's
was a lot bigger than her. You know,
in name or stature or ranking,
like a Havoc. So I mean, I think that'll be a really, really good matchup. As long as it's not a beer. As long as it's not a beer. A beer.
Oh, a bear.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
What do you thought I was saying?
A beer. Or beer.
A beer. I have a weird way of saying a lot of my words due to a little bit of the accent that I tend to have at times. But a beer.
Wow.
The things that eat people sometimes. Climb on your trees. You find in the wilderness, in the woods. Wildebeest.
I just want to say, if you guys, if we hear anything about Chelsea Green and Mickey James at Rebellion, maybe they'll announce it. Maybe we'll get, who knows?
They need to have a match. I feel like they should continue to let this feud build, and continue to build in multiple ways where, not, eventually, the husband will, I mean, they already crossed paths the NWA, but this is Impact. You know what I'm saying?
They're not on the card either. So.
No, they're not. So, I mean, hey, what if there be a moment where they let, I don't know, Nick and Matt have a match for the Digital Media title, and Nick wins the title?
Absolutely not. That's not happening.
I mean,
Chelsea's gonna cost Matt, if anything.
Well, hey, if she does that, then I mean, I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
I don't know. Me neither, to be honest. I honestly hope that the match is there. I would like to see it. I would like to see it. Truth be told, yeah, like I loved it. That was one of my favorite parts of tonight.
Because she knocked her out.
She did. She wasn't going.
Not at all. She knocked her out. For real.
Chelsea is really on a different level. And to be honest, Mickey James is on a different level too.
She is.
She is. She's honestly on God mode.
See, you had me in the first half. You really did. Now you want to no, I ain't gonna say she on that mode, and neither is the other person who calls himself that either.
Chelsea's definitely on God mode. But listen, for real, I really hope that they get their match. Nick Aldis have a match against Brian Myers at Impact. Okay, I
Power
mean not
trip too.
NBA Power Trip second. Okay, period.
Well, good for them.
God mode, acknowledge. Oh yes, acknowledge her the GOAT. Okay, and you are right. You are right. God is definitely a woman. Um,
Wow, it
according
listens.
to many. According to many. You say what?
I said, wow, it listens.
What?
It listens.
Oh, and not it. Listen.
It listens. It pays attention. That's cute. But yeah, so anyway, as we move forward into other parts of the show,
As we
um,
move right along,
move right the hell on. Um, I
I,
mean, champ challenge. Let's talk about it, Nikki.
I like my worry with this is that she hasn't, she just hasn't stayed focused, and Willow really, honestly, gave her like a crazy match.
She did.
Honestly, like I mean, the way she was taking it to Deanna, like I just couldn't. Like it was
It was a
crazy.
really good match.
It was
It
crazy.
was it was really good. I mean, Deanna was getting her ass handed to her. She really was. Willow is a force to be reckoned with. She
She
is one of those new girls on the indies that's coming up and, showcasing her dominance, you know what I'm saying, as being a baby face at that. Um, so for her to go up against a technician like Deanna and really show her power, really had a lot of offense in this match. Honestly, which I think Deanna really allowed her to showcase what a lot of people may not be really paying attention to or maybe sleeping on, and so on and so forth. So I
yeah.
think that this was a really, really big moment to have Willow shine in this match by knowing that Deanna was still going to win, even though there were moments where we thought like, oh, Deanna might come up short, but she did not. However, come Rebellion, I don't know. It's is it that time for Deanna to not be the champ anymore when she goes against Miss Taya Valkyrie? Is it? Who really
Like
knows? I mean, is she gonna lose
listen,
that
I have no words.
Reina
Be
de
honest,
Reina
I
championship?
have no words.
Like I know Nikki, you're like in the middle. Well, you're torn in between the two, but you're really really rooting for one. However,
Well,
the footage show differently.
listen, it,
You're in the crossfire right now.
listen. If you guys go back and watch the multiverse, you'll see Ty Valkyrie. She gives me a hug after the match. We've been talking, and I've said this before. We've been talking for months. Um, you know, we've been talking for months about when she might appear. And when I first met her, I jokingly said it. I was just like, I feel like you're gonna pop up in Impact at some point. you know I think you're just
Mhm,
gonna take the right time. You're the longest reigning knockouts
mhm,
champion of all time.
mhm,
Honestly, that's in the books.
mhm.
um I just didn't think that it would be in this moment. Um, because to be honest, this this is the biggest one yet. This
Mhm.
isn't a champ challenge. This is Deanna Peraza. And you know what? Let me just say this. Because my loyalty will forever lie with the virtuoso. We are in the age, and we will still be come rebellion in the age of the virtuoso. Deonna Purrazzo is not the same Deonna Purrazzo that Ty Vackery met, that while back. She's not the same. Deonna Purrazzo is not the same Deonna Purrazzo that was running around here 8 months ago. Deonna Purrazzo is not the one to be played with. Now, do I think Ty Vackery has a higher probability than most? Absolutely. But when you dethrone a champ, you just knock off one champ, right? There's still that ROH interim championship, right? You got to focus on the big fish. And I don't think Taya I don't know. I don't know. Taya
Taya's the number one contender for this title, though. You know what I'm saying?
She has been for a long time.
And yeah, I mean, she never did give up her title. She never did lose her title. She gave it up to be Frankie Monet and NXT. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when you have someone like Taya Vackery, who is a legend in Impact, like the girls were not messing with Miss Taya Vackery like in Impact like that. She was a beast. And even on the indies she still is a beast. You know what I'm saying? We did not get to see the Taya Vackery in NXT because they watered her down completely. But if you've watched her work over, whether she was at the Lucha, like you like to say, or over in Impact and whatever indie show that she wrestles in and whatnot, she's gonna from her promo, Nikki, you said it yourself. She's gonna beat the out of Deonna.
She's going to.
She's going to. This is going to be a really. But what I will say is that this is really going to be a really, really good match. This is probably going to be one of Deonna's toughest opponents. Honestly, she got a little bit of Willow, but Taya is different. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be one of her biggest opponents, and I know Deonna's been training like crazy, and I know that. Taya has been getting busted up in the head with lighting bulbs and stuff.
She had a phenomenal match with Camille. She had a great match with Pyro, I think is his name. Very hardcore, very extreme.
Which I'm still trying to find that match because I really want to see it. I don't even know where it is. Like I feel like they're gonna post it eventually, but that was I want to see that.
It was a good match. I saw the match. We watched the match between her and Camille, and I watched that like 3 or 4 times because it was really good in those 8 minutes that they fought. I mean, they really took it to each other. Taya Vackery is a very she's more of a powerhouse wrestler where you have someone like Deonna who's more technical. Something's not gonna click. Someone's gonna have to go over. And I don't know. I really don't. I don't even know what we're gonna be reporting at that show. I have no idea, and I've never felt like this going into the champ challenges. I feel like even with Willow tonight, I do think that the match that she put on with Lady Frost and Giselle Shaw has been my favorite, and I think the one with Fabi was really good too.
Yeah, and I mean, because they know each other. They know each other.
I was there for both of those, and
you also caused chaos in the Fabi.
Everybody knows.
I love it.
I don't play about Deonna. I don't play about Trey Miguel, and I don't play about Deonna. Those are the two that and he'll be defending that rebellion too. He's gonna win his title, so it just is what it is, with Deonna, she doesn't have anything to lose, even if she loses her title. And I don't know if I'm just being optimistic, but who knows? But moving right along, I mean, once again,
I
a
just
week.
think all in all, it's gonna be a match to see. It could potentially be match of the night
Yeah,
or one of the matches of the night because a lot of people are looking forward to Deanna and Taya,
yeah,
knowing these two separately and seeing them come together in a match
yeah,
that it's going to be real. You got Deanna who's at the top of her game. You got Ty Becker who's coming back and constantly like getting like letting people know or recognize, remember that I'm still that girl. I am. You know what I'm saying? Then you got this new girl on the block who's holding it down in Impact, like the way she used to do it. But their match isn't for the Impact title.
yeah.
It's for the AAA.
I
So
think everything has gone full circle. I think you're looking at the two most dominating women in the past, history
mhm,
for knockouts. And this is a match that I feel like has been in the making
mhm,
for years, and I don't think people even realize. I don't think people even are gonna realize the magnitude
mhm.
of this match until we get there, and we will,
Next
and we
week.
will. And I am very nervous. Um, Jumping a little back before um, Madison Rain and Jessie McKay went head to head before the Impact. Really stellar match.
Mhm,
Madison Rain did get the victory. We saw so much go into this match, even like the story transpired on Impact on Access. Again, Madison Rain won, and there was a lot of things that happened with Caleb and the chair, and now Caleb is gone.
mhm,
Fired. His services are no longer needed by the influence. And, on a serious note, he has departed from Impact Wrestling. He has been a great addition, and he's worked with them, I believe, for 2 years. He had
mhm.
nothing but good things to say, along with, giving a shout out to all the knockouts that he, wrestled with and worked with along the way. So shout out to Caleb with a K
Mhm.
on that. But after, Madison, won the match, Giselle accused her of losing the match.
Yeah.
And so I was very confused with what the hell she was even talking about. Um,
She's
and
not
then
talking about like the BTR, or she talking about like the multiverse. I mean, well, she
she was
technically
like,
did
well,
kind of
no,
cheat.
she was like she lost the match, and then she was like, honey, did you watch the show? So I thought it was just really weird. We have a question
Giselle
from the
must be going
Wrestling
through it.
Classic. Do you prefer when the inspiration are in singles matches or tag matches? Um, I know for me, I would rather see them in singles competition. And I would rather see Jessica than Cassie. But Madison and I included it in the article too.
Mhm.
Madison and Jessica's match was really really good. They went for it. They went for a while. So
Yeah,
yeah, I would definitely prefer them in singles. What about you, Santana?
I don't care.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't. I don't know. Like, I mean,
I don't think you get
yeah,
anything from either team.
no, not really. Don't get me wrong. I do like Madison Rain, probably because she was with the
Way
beautiful
better
company.
singles competitor. I'm sorry.
She is. Tennille, she's. I don't feel like I see her wrestle enough anymore like that
Yeah,
to care for her. I mean, I've seen what she's done in other promotions, but as far as seeing her wrestle in Impact, I feel like I don't see enough of her wrestling to actually want to care. I know what Madison Rain can do because she's
yeah,
constantly the one who's always in the ring.
that's right.
Um, with Jessica and Cassie, I mean, sometimes it gets very botchy. But I mean, not every match is perfect. But if you're constantly, botching the same thing over and over again. It's starting to pick up on things. It's just like it's just really not that entertaining. But I think that for me, I think I've always liked Jessica or Billie Kay more than Cassie. Honestly, I always liked her more because I feel like she's the one who has the total package. I really do. Whether it comes with her mic skills or in ring ability, I feel like she's a lot the stronger tag partner.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, I want to see if they're going to be booked for Rebellion, you know?
Mhm.
Um who knows? Could they be defending or could they just be, taking a break? There's so much that I feel like it's not going to be on Rebellion that's going to be on their next showing,
Mhm.
and so I'm really excited just because I'm going to be there. And so I'm kind of like,
But I don't feel like they
no,
should put too much on this card, especially when they
no,
have another one coming next
no.
month. Like
Like
just like
literally
days
like
later,
2 weeks after,
literally. So it's
literally.
like you don't need to put what's kind of current that's
But
going on.
Rebellion is their big, it's a
Yeah,
big
it
show.
is. But I mean, you don't need to put what the big stories have been on this show. And
Yeah.
then as you move on forward to your next pay-per-view, then you kind of once you start to kind of get in focus of like what match cards are going to be like the main focus for these matches. Like I think like those tag titles or if they don't even make it to Rebellion, I think that they can be put on the next pay-per-view. Continue to build something there.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, I agree. And I mean, last but not least, I mean, honestly, we know for a fact this is happening at Rebellion. After
Mhm.
winning the Battle Royal, Rosemary will move on, and she will face the Impact Knockouts World Champion Tasha Steelz at Rebellion. And I
Mhm.
mean, tonight, child, I'm scared.
I mean, we know these two have a history
They do.
together.
They do.
Um, and if you're not aware of it, I definitely recommend you going back to watch
Please.
some of their feuds, matches,
I
whatever.
think we're gonna watch something
Um,
tonight, to be honest.
we should. That I think be
We
cool.
definitely should.
Fresh up
The,
your
the,
memory.
the Shadow Realm,
Yeah.
like, is sick. Like, if if they're giving that type of feel,
Mhm.
I fear for Tasha.
Mm. But I really don't want her to lose her title that quickly.
I don't either.
I feel like Tasha has really worked her way up to have a lengthy reign. It's
I
only been like
mean,
what, a month since
technically,
she's been holding this title. She needs a longer, she needs
yeah.
some months.
I
She
just
does.
don't want to get that feeling of how I felt like when Deanna lost at Bound for Glory,
Hmm.
and then it was just like, well,
What's next?
damn. And then she lost again at the Texas Death
Hmm.
Match. I'm like,
It's like, okay. All right.
hello? Like,
What are y'all doing?
what are we
Who
doing
is
here?
booking this?
You know? But I don't
Yes,
know.
she is.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely is.
And I mean, I wouldn't mind that if they're like with their match at Rebellion, I wouldn't mind if they kind of told a story in the ring, taking us back to like where your feud began and when y'all had your first match and so on and so forth and bring it up to where it is now where you guys meet again for the title uh
Yeah.
at Rebellion. And Tasha, she's great. Rosemary is legendary. You know what I'm saying? It's
She
just
really
like
is.
at this time, it's like you kind of really just don't know.
Yeah.
You really don't. And I mean, like I said, I don't want Tasha to lose. I really don't. But at this, you really just don't know.
Yeah.
You really don't.
You really don't. And I mean, with that being said, I guess we'll just have to see.
Hmm.
I mean,
come back next week and see what Tasha Steelz can do, because I mean, Decay was back there looking like
something might happen to Savannah.
Child, not they gonna dub Savannah.
She gonna come back. You see, I mean, I don't know if y'all remember, but y'all see what happened to Allie.
Mm-hmm.
And they did an Impact in 60 on Allie today.
They did, but it was like, wait, ain't she in AEW? It's like, yeah. Savannah better fight back. She better put them big boots on and start kicking their ass.
If it's one match, then I'm like, I'm more so, I'm ready for Deonna and Taya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not, I'm nervous for the outcome.
Yeah.
The one match that I'm like really, really ready for though is Tasha and Rosemary.
Yeah.
And definitely Josh and Moose. And then I think with Trey's match, I don't like it, just, you know.
I mean, I don't know if I don't think they're gonna let Speedball win.
It could be. Is Ace Austin in the match as well?
Yeah, Ace Austin is in the match.
It could be.
I don't know. Like, I don't think Speedball will win. I think that he's pretty cool doing whatever he's doing.
On Trey. I just know that Trey will be in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, you know, but it's only
how long?
It's only like 3 days.
Child, the 3 days. Then they listen. They pre-tape their stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen. I think the best thing, honestly, is for Trey to retain. Deonna retain.
He's been retaining, though. You know what I'm saying? Just as like Deonna has been retaining. Trey Miguel has been retaining. No matter how many times they may have
if he can take out 5 people, he can take out 2.
Well, Speedball are different.
Child. Okay, well, we just gonna have to. We just gonna see.
Speedball is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, those 5 people that he had in that match with the X Division title, I mean, of course, we knew he wasn't gonna lose that title. Come on, we knew that he wasn't gonna lose that.
Well, I wasn't sure because listen, they was gonna try to sneak him.
Did they try to sneak him?
They was gonna try. He the hottest thing. He the hottest thing in Impact. Don't play with him.
I mean, I don't know. Who really knows? Is Trey gonna retain, or are they gonna let him drop the title? I mean, he's been holding it for a very, very long time. He has been put on amazing matches with all of his competitors. To be honest, like, he hasn't had a bad match or ran into a terrible opponent. All the opponents that he has had has really, really like challenged him. Honestly, it really has. So, I mean, it's possible that he might retain. I feel like he might retain his title. I mean, it's honestly just like who really knows. But I mean, I hope he does retain. Trey is a part of the family, somehow, some way. And yeah, you know, shout out to that man.
You've been real shady tonight.
Who?
You've been on one.
You don't see this light on me? There's no shade. There's not enough. There's a lot of light up in here.
Calling people it.
Well,
don't be listen. Don't be doing that. But yeah, Trey is family, for sure. And that man is the greatest X Division champion of all time. I don't care. Like, there's nobody that does that title the way it should be done. And that shit, I said it. I don't care.
I'm just glad they stopped putting him on the pre-shows.
I mean, that can still happen. It don't matter where you put Trey. He gone.
Yeah, but still, his caliber of work that he does in the ring, it doesn't need to be on the pre-show.
I feel that.
The opponents that he have does not need to be on the pre-show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of matches that they have had.
Main event. He definitely needs some main event. But I see why also he opens up the card too, because I mean, it's like, you know.
And a lot of times he does open. So that just means that, you know, you open the show, You really get the crowd
Now,
going.
trust me. I, I thought we were about to miss that match. Child, I took off, started running. Y'all have no idea. Like,
Nikki didn't even like wasn't even talking to us. She was just gone. I'm like, child. We got there. People ain't even came out yet.
they were still doing stuff, but it was still close.
Exactly. Not at all. They weren't even done doing what they were doing. You just running like a Benji. Okay, like,
Like a
and I'm
Benji.
just like, all right, look, I don't have no reason to get there. I know that the people that I care for are really not starting out that quickly. And by the time I get there, I'll get there.
Chris Bay was in that match, but hey, I know you're
Yeah, he
more
was,
focused on
but
Jay
I don't have
We
to
know
run.
you're more
You know
focused
what I'm
on Jay
saying? That's cool, but I
We
don't
know
I
you're
don't
more
have
focused
to run. You know what I'm saying? When I get there is when I get there, and when I
on
got there,
not me.
I was seated.
I'm running.
Nobody came out yet or nothing.
That is true though, but I ain't gonna miss it.
Well,
I can't miss it.
mhm.
Well, even though, you know, I'm missing, you know,
You only
rebellion.
missing it in person. You're not necessarily missing the show. You're gonna be able to watch it. You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying? So it's not like you're technically missing you're just only missing it in person. You know, you'll be able to see it from your laptop, TV,
Yeah.
iPad, phone, cable services, whichever one you choose to do. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Listen, I'm gonna be watching somehow, some way. And we will be here with a post show as well.
Mhm.
Um,
We will to break down everything that happens in Rebellion. Um, and make sure you guys do come back for next week for like the final episode of Impact before we get to Rebellion. Cause who knows what's really gonna take place. We only got one match announced for next week. Only one. We don't know what else is gonna happen.
I'm nervous. It's a
I'm
lot.
chilling.
It's a lot going on. Honestly, it is.
Don't be nervous.
It's a lot going on, but I'm excited. I mean, you guys don't forget. You know, it is Thursday.
It's
It's
Friday.
still Thursday for some people
Yeah.
in on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
On the
but
East
don't,
Coast and Central, it's Friday. Happy
it is.
Friday. Well, it's the weekend. We finally made it. Here we are.
Well, this is my Thursday.
Right.
I still have to work the weekend, unfortunately. However, um, I guess you could say within less than 24 hours, Santana will be back with Stephanie for the AEW. Because AEW comes on tomorrow first, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Thank
then
goodness they should do
SmackDown.
that.
And then
And
we
then
go right into the post show. So like as soon as SmackDown over at 9:05, we going live.
we going live.
Cause
Well, I'm not.
9:05 we going live. Well, Nikki will be live from work, watching
I
us
will be.
in the comment section per usual.
I will be definitely
Um,
because, as you guys know, I mean, I know they're not going to say anything about it tomorrow. They might. Uh, but the pillar of AEW herself, the DMD, still
how
my
do you know
champion.
we're not gonna say nothing?
Well, y'all might. I mean, they talked about it. Al and Mika talked about it. The
Yeah,
Dynamite Dolls talked about it Wednesday.
Mhm.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know if they're gonna say anything. So just in case, I'm just saying. Britt Baker will be
I'm
making.
pretty sure they're gonna say something.
They
They
might.
always they always run down their match card on
That
Rampage.
is true. Well, maybe. Well, let me rephrase that. Maybe they may not say enough
Mhm.
because I don't get to do AEW. So I'm very excited that Britt Baker will be returning next week. Honestly,
Mhm.
come save us. This time, won't you save me? Okay. And then again on Sunday for Turnbuckle Glam, and then Monday, of
The
course,
special.
Salt Shakers again.
Mhm.
Monday Night Raw post show, and then Wednesday again with AEW Dynamite with the Dynamite Dolls, Al and Mika. Uh,
Mhm.
any last words before we get out of here, Santanta?
Just always remember that the Salt Shakers are the most dominating tag team in women's wrestling talk history. Please know that we are. It's already like we've already put out. We are the pillars of women's wrestling talk. Okay.
Ooh, we are
Please
the
know
we,
that.
we would definitely be the tag team. We're like FTR,
We are.
honestly. We
Say
definitely
yeah. We are.
say yeah.
It's not that theme song no more, but
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
yeah, you know that
We
theme song back
definitely
then.
are.
Like, we are.
We definitely are.
We are. We can be FTR, the Red Dragons, whatever. Well, technically, at this time, we're Adam Cole. I'm Adam Cole, and you're Bobby Fish.
I'm Bobby.
Very
Definitely.
much so. Hit him with
Very
the left,
much.
hit him with the right. I'm gonna knock it out like a fight night. Hit him with a.
Listen, I love it. And honestly, like no joke. Like
Mhm.
we are about to like take it to a whole nother level.
We are.
Like it's really about to get no more
There's no
disrespect.
disrespect to you guys, but please remember.
What the hell was that to this?
I
Oh,
will go
manager in the
Nika.
building.
We
Yes,
know
yes.
that. But at this time, we're talking about us, the Salt Shakers. We were here before we brought you in. And now you are our manager.
That is
Okay.
true.
Gold standards. All right. But at this time, right here, right now, on Women's Wrestling Talk Impact Zone party time here. Shout
Not
out.
part- Yo, I'm really happy that we were able to land an Impact though,
Yeah.
because Impact has really taken over my life, and it's a happy.
It's a happy moment for Nikki. And Nikki has technically dragged me in to well, not I won't say she's dragged me in, but she's brought me back into Impact. I will say that because I was big on watching TNA back when TNA was really really rowdy and they had that octagon ring, and a lot of WWE superstars would go over there or indie superstars would go there, and some of them are now in all types of promotions. So like that's when I was pretty much really really big in TNA. Once it became Impact, I kind of stopped watching. Um, kind of stopped watching Impact. I really did, and then I went into not watching Impact at all. But Nikki has reeled me back in, and now I got some. Now I got two people that I can look at. You know, hey,
And now I'm real back in too.
I'm in here. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
And when I support when I do like someone, I do like someone.
yeah, same here.
Uncle Willie. The
I
man
remember
is
honestly when I first went to the Impact show,
mm-hmm,
I saw Trey Miguel on TV, and then once they
mm-hmm,
started letting people, go to the shows here in Nashville,
yeah.
I remember the first time I saw him, I was just like, man, that kid is like, he's the future, honestly.
Mm-hmm,
And then I saw Deanna,
mm-hmm,
um, and I was like, holy shit, she reminds me of a young Charlotte.
mm-hmm,
Like she reminds me of the embodiment of what what is needed in a company. And then I saw
mm-hmm,
Chelsea. And I was like, dang, I've been really like sleep on
mm-hmm,
Chelsea. Of course, I mean, if you work with Charlotte Flair, obviously, you got a one in my book. But I never really paid it any attention. I remember leaving that first Impact show and just being like, wow. Like,
mm-hmm,
and now going to Hard to Kill and the multiverse, and then going to the other shows, and then even like not being able to go to some of the shows because of other things, but still being able to like watch everything. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's it's this. It's like I don't know. It's like a family oriented thing, you know.
mm-hmm,
So this feels fun. But I mean, even with Monday night, even when we do the Monday Night Raw and stuff,
mm-hmm.
it's just not this. It's just not, WWE is different. AEW is getting different. With Impact, there's still like that. um especially going to the shows, it's more intimate. And I'm sure you
Mhm.
get that more from a live show with WWE and with AEW. People feel this, probably feel the same. But with Impact, it's way more intimate, and I hope it stays in that magnitude. You know.
Well, I guess I'm the opposite. Like, um, I think for me, I've always been a WWE person because that's what I grew up watching. Well,
Right.
WWF. I was always into anything WWE product. Like the difference between me and Nikki is only going to give them in like she doesn't care about them that much. She only have her people that she care about, and that's it.
Yeah.
Me, because I've grew up on it and I never stopped watching the product. I can sit and have multiple conversations with people about WWE wrestlers. Whether I care about them or not, I can sit there and have a conversation about it because I will actually sit there and watch the product. Even if it bores the hell out of me, I would still watch it.
Yeah.
Um, even with AEW, like going and getting in, started into watching AEW, I'd never watched it from the beginning, so I kind of just jumped in when it was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I just started watching AEW. Now I
Like
feel like I know everybody that's there right
I
now.
think we started watching AEW around the same
Yeah.
time because we were still like I remember when we first met, we
Mhm.
were like NXT bound.
No, for real.
Like
Like
we were like
NXT
NXT.
when it was NXT, and we still do watch 2.0. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
we do watch to be on. I gotta support
We
my
watch,
fave over
to
there.
be honest,
We watch
the
everything.
Salt Shakers, if you're listening to this, we pretty much have watched, we're watching like old like ROH and like,
I watched
like
my first GCW show today. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I feel like they need us on commentary.
they definitely do.
I love the way they commentate. I
Yeah,
love all of the cursing and the shit talking. I love all of that
that's what
stuff.
it's about.
And I was really enjoying the matches that they had. I guess I do like violence. I wanna be able to go to one of those hardcore matches where people are
Yeah,
getting thrown through barbed wire and
yeah,
piled chairs on top of them and getting hit with light bulbs and doors and stuff. Like I would want to go to a match like that because I feel like that is like, I mean, to me they feel like backyard wrestling. Like anything
yeah,
just goes, whatever it is, just like it's awesome. And I feel like the more that I've been with women's wrestling talk, the more that I kind of go into different shows and watch some people that I actually like. I
yeah.
go and I feel like I just start venturing out and start going to watch their stuff.
Hmm. That's
I
happened too.
watched my first New Japan show. Me and Nikki watched Stardom. We
Yeah, we
never
did.
watched Stardom before.
I
And we
never
sat
even.
there and we watched a Stardom match. And it was just like, yo,
Yeah,
they are different over there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I don't think we're casuals anymore like that, Nikki. When it comes to all wrestling promotion, I think we might be onto something.
We
We
might
might
be
we might
on
know a little
something.
something something.
Honestly, and I really want to keep the ball rolling because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like it's being here at Women's Wrestling Talk has allowed me to educate myself even more, and I have to bring up the Bella Twins, honestly.
Oh,
And I'm only plugging myself right now. If you guys are on following the
mhm.
Bella Twins podcast page, can you please go like my Instagram comment on their latest post? They're literally having Kristen Cavallari in Nashville, where I am on Monday, April 25th. It's like a mother and margaritas. No, I don't have kids. I don't like. I just want to go. They're picking like 20 people. Please go like my comment if you can. It's on Instagram. It's the Bella Podcast. Um, but being here honestly has made me have a different appreciation for women's wrestling as a whole. Even people like Mickey James, Maria
Mhm.
Kanellis, um, even people like Roxy, even people like, and I'm naming people that I haven't always been the biggest fan of, but I recently saw Mickey James at WrestleCon and the interaction just, I mean, you don't expect people, even if you like them or not, you don't expect people to know who you are or know where you are or who you work for or the publication or whatever it may be. You
Mhm.
when you become recognizable to legends, that is what made me appreciate it more. And so when we've been doing this research and we've been going back and really trying to dig deep into like the art of women's wrestling, the importance, the relevance, the now, the then, you know, it's been crazy. Like it's been I don't know. It's been crazy. And I want to, like, you know, all we can do is just keep moving,
going,
and having fun along the process. I'm so excited for all the shows. You know, there are rumors that you know, Impact will possibly come back to Nashville.
If it does, I'm getting in Nikki's trunk.
It's on. It's like,
just so I can take the pictures. Like I said, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, and make sure you guys check out the pictures that Santana took from the multiverse. I mean, just sick, like really good. And yeah, I mean,
we talked enough.
I think we did.
Listen, let me tell y'all something. We got a lot of things planned where we're going to have to get to like an hour of talking. So prepared to be sick of us.
Listen, Monday Night Raw will definitely have a different. I'm just gonna be honest and tell you, in the weeks to come, there's gonna be a lot of changes made to Monday Night Raw that I'm not really ecstatic about.
20 minutes. That's
it. I'm gonna find a way around this to get this down to 10 and 50. and really only Santana and probably our CEO TK knows exactly what I'm talking about. We're not like, it's gonna be
20 minutes.
It's gonna be like crazy. Especially after WrestleMania is weird. It's a weird time, but it is what it is, you guys. Please make sure you, for those who join late or whatever, the video posts immediately on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, same thing with Facebook Live. If you're watching on Twitch, we thank you so much.
You're gonna be seeing a lot more of us.
We are very excited. Can't give too much.
Not too much.
Also knows what we're talking about too. But we can't give too much, but we can just give enough. And we thank you all for coming in. We saw everybody that came in. Joseph, Bobby, Mika, Sam, the Wrestling Classic. Just everybody who came in and supported. Amazing Tribe, of course. And of course, you know what it is. Until next time, y'all. Of course, y'all been tuning in to the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Of course.
Duh.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.